Let's have a look at simplifying fractions. So the whole bunch of algebraic fractions that we're going to look at here. So first of all, the basic rule is that we need to look at finding the highest common factor of our numerator and the denominator. Okay, and so either we need to divide both the top and bottom, or we need to be able to find the factors of them and simplify it. So in this case here, think about the numbers 4 and 2. I can write that as 2 times 2 over 2 on the bottom, and on the top I've also got times A times B, and on the bottom I've got times A times B times B. So because I'm multiplying top and bottom by the same thing, I can cancel. So I can cancel the 2 and the 2, the A and the A, and I can cancel a B. They're all just being multiplied. So now what are you left with? Well, on the top you've got a 2, on the bottom you've got a B. So that gives you that simplification. Let's do the same process with this one. So look at the numbers first of all, 25 and 10. What do they have in common? They've both got a factor of 5. So let's write 25 as 5 times 5, and we'll write 10 as 5 times 2. Then I've got an A squared on the top, so I've got times A, B squared, B times B, C cubed, C times C times C. On the bottom, I've got an A and a B cubed, so B times B times B, and I've got a C. Now let's cancel. 5 on the top and bottom, A on the top and bottom, B on the top and bottom, another B on the top and bottom, C on the top and bottom. Now let's look what's left over. So on the top I've got a 5, an A and C squared. On the bottom I've got 2B. Now that was just dealing with things when we had it as a simple variable or number that was common to both. But remember, it can be a common factor. So this example here, when we write 4 bracket x plus 1, that means 4 times x plus 1. Similarly on the bottom, that means 9 times x plus 1. So the common factor there is the whole x plus 1 that you've got in brackets. So that whole bracket is being multiplied top and bottom, and so I'm allowed to cancel. And that's why that'll leave me with 4 over 9. Similarly with this one, I've got on the top here, I've got a 2x plus 3, and on the bottom I've got 9 times. Now inside that bracket I've got it written as 3 plus 2x, but remember that's the same because they're both positive. The 3 is positive, 2x is positive. That's the same as 2x plus 3. I've just written them the other way around, and it's that cubed, which means that multiplied by itself 3 times. So now think what is common, what is being multiplied top and bottom. So if I put a bracket around that 2x plus 3 on the top, that whole thing can be cancelled top and bottom. So what am I left with on the top? Well, I'm allowed to multiply anything by 1. So I'm left with a 1 on the top, and on the bottom I've got a 9, and then I've got 2x plus 3 being multiplied together twice, so it's squared. Alright, sometimes I need to factorise first before I can cancel. So 3x plus 6 all divided by 3. Look at the numerator. Think what is common there. So 3x and 6 has got a 3 in common. So let's take that 3 out. So 3 times x is equal to 3x, and 3 times 2 is equal to 6. And so I'm going to end up with 3 bracket x plus 2 all divided by 3. And now I can think, right, now I can cancel the 3's top and bottom to be left with the x plus 2. So I needed to factorise, and then I could cancel. I'm not allowed to cancel straight at the top, so at the front I could not just cancel those 3 straight away. That is not allowed. Sometimes I'm going to factorise top and bottom. So this one here, I've got 2x plus 10. So let's take 2 out as the common factor, and that leaves me with x plus 5. Now let's factorise the bottom. Minus 20 minus 4x. So I can take out a negative factor here. 20 and 4, the common factor of 4, and that leaves me with 5 plus x. Now x plus 5 in brackets, 5 plus x in brackets are the same thing. So they are going to cancel because I am multiplying them top and bottom by the same thing. So that leaves me with 2 over negative 4, which we can then simplify down to 1 over negative 2. Last but not least is if I now have quadratics. I want to do the same process of factorising a quadratic and then cancelling. So factorise first, then cancel. So look at the numerator. I need to make 2 sets of brackets. I need an x in both set of brackets, and I want to find 2 numbers that multiply to 1 and add to 2. The only 2 numbers are 1. I've tried to make this one nice for you. So that's going to be x plus 1 times x plus 1 on the top. Now do the denominator. I need an x in both sets of brackets. What 2 numbers multiply to 2 and add to 3? And so that's going to be 1 and 2. So I've got x plus 1 in bracket, x plus 2 in bracket. Now think I am multiplying those brackets top and bottom. If they're the same, I can cancel. So this x plus 1 bracket cancels with that x plus 1. What am I left with? I've got an x plus 1 over x plus 2. And there is simplifying fractions.